Today I wanted to make a video talking about Age of the Prime's Onslaught, Sideways, and speculate a little bit on Wave 3. So let's get into the reveals. We have Onslaught, and now we've seen the gray prototype a while ago, which looks good, but really color makes all the difference, and in today's case, it makes a lot of difference. So if we look at Onslaught, just the core truck, so they're doing it like Menasor, where the cab of the truck, the main truck, is Onslaught and the trailer is the combiner mode, which I think is a perfect way to do this. I think it worked well with Menasor. This was a no-brainer for Onslaught. I think the alt mode looks really good. The truck might be a little pancaked, but that's okay. So I think the truck mode, the alt mode is pretty good. It's that dark blue, dark green, some gray. It works. It's Onslaught's military truck. It works. But the issue I have is with the robot mode. So what is this green color? I know Onslaught has some green in his design in G1, because these Age of the Prime's Combaticons, they're doing exactly what the Legacy Stunticons and what the Age of the Prime's aerial bots did, which is going for that more G1, more Sunbow accuracy look. But why does he have green thighs and green hands? That part is kind of throwing me off. And I'll get into that more in the combined mode, because that part of the combined mode really throws me off. So I think the thighs should be black plastic and the hands should be black plastic. The fact that it's this olive green is a little weird to me. I think the backpack should be olive green, but just the backpack and the knees should be green. The rest should be black. Mold wise, I think it's a perfect G1 Onslaught design. I think it's a lot better than the Combiner Wars. The Combiner Wars was interesting, but this is a more G1 take. I prefer this, and keep in mind these are renders, so they might not be final. These are just leaks. These are not like official press photos. So fingers crossed that Onslaught gets to be a little different when he finally comes out. Maybe they make his visor a little more orange than yellow. They fix the green to black, but who knows? Mold-wise, it looks good. There are some complaints about the feet. His feet do look a little flat, similar to Silverbolt. I really don't mind it. I think it's a good looking Onslaught, and he'll look good next to the rest of the Combaticons. The combined mode can make a little turret. Again, really similar to Menasor. I think that's cool. Nice touch, a nice play feature. So now onto the back of the box, we can see Bruticus in all his glory without his Combaticons. And it looks pretty goofy. So the thing with Superion and Menasor, I really like the frame combiners. And this just looks really goofy. This time there's no hole in the shins. His shins are just super thin. And I get that's to accommodate Brawl and Swindle. But it just makes for, when you don't have any of the limbs, his combined mode looks super goofy. But once you do get the rest of the Combaticons on there, it looks pretty good. There are some issues, but again, I want to say that this is a render from a leak. It's not in-hand photos, it's not official photos, so we don't know what it's going to look like in hand. When 86 Devastator got leaked and revealed, people were really nitpicking how squat it looked and how the proportions didn't look right. But in hand, in person, 86 Devastator looks really good. I'm guessing that's going to be the same thing with this Onslaught. I think he's going to be the exact same height as Superion and Menasor. I don't think he's going to be as big as Devastator. Even though he's got Voyager legs, you can see the legs are Voyagers, just to accommodate an ankle tilt, or I guess an above ankle tilt in this case, and to support the weight as well, because Superion and Menasor didn't need the leg to support weight, but once I'm sure you have Blastoff and Vortex on there, those little stilt legs are gonna have trouble holding up the entire combiner. I can't tell if the legs are a little too short or if the shoulders are a little too wide, but something proportion wise does look a little off. And my biggest issue with it is the green on the arms. I don't know why they went with green. If you look at his G1 animation model, because these are going for the more Sunbow, like G1 cartoon accurate look, he doesn't have any green on his arms. His arm for Vortex is gray, his arm for Blastoff is brown. So I don't know if it would have been a better idea to do one arm brown to match Blastoff, one arm gray to match Vortex, or just both arms gray. But the green plastic is really throwing me off. I don't mind the blue above Swindle and Brawl, but the green arms, I don't think was the right choice. I think they went way too heavily into this green. The chest could also have a little bit wider fins to maybe fill out the gap where the shoulders start. But overall, I don't think it's bad. I think it is an improvement over the Combiner Wars version, like all of these combiners have been. There's a lot of discourse on the frame combiners. You love them, you hate them, you think they're okay, you hate this that they're not able to scramble city, which is all valid and it's all fine. I think they look better. I think they're more posable. And the Combiner Wars figures are starting to show their age. I still have my Defensor, and he's pretty loose. My Gen Selects Piranacon is insanely loose, and that thing can't stand up. But it couldn't stand up when I got it, so I can't really complain. And now on to Voyagers for Age of the Primes Wave 5. I think we're on Wave 5 now. So obviously the one Voyager is going to be Armada Sideways. But the figure that's going to be with Armada Sideways, I think, is a 50-50 between Swindle and Nexus Prime. So my initial thought was Nexus Prime, and I thought we'd have to wait until the 6th wave to complete Bruticus and complete the Combaticons. But we had pictures of Swindle leak, and we have no pictures of Nexus Prime. So I'm starting to think that maybe Swindle will come out in Wave 5 as a Voyager along with Sideways. It's really weird that only Onslaught and Sideways went up for pre-order at this time. They went up for pre-order together. Again, really, really weird. I think last December we had basically all of Wave 1 of Age of the Primes go up for pre-order at once, which was included Star Convoy and Superion. So it's weird. I get they're breaking it up because no one can afford to buy the entire wave all at once. But since we have leaked pictures now, I think Swindle will be the other Voyager in this wave. And he looks really, really good. I would argue these Combaticons look even better individually than they do combined into Bruticus. Vortex from Wave 1, I really like. He's got some arm kibble, but it is whatever. And now Wave 4 is starting to show up in Canada, which means Brawl and Blastoff are going to be showing up hopefully soon. I'm eagerly awaiting those two. And both of them look great in robot mode. You might be saying, will Brawl better look great in robot mode because it's a deluxe for a Voyager price? Totally fair. There are some in-hand photos of stress marks on him. A little bit concerning. Hopefully there's no quality issues with Brawl, but we're just going to have to wait and see. And Swindle looks great. To make up for the size of the figure, you're getting a little trailer with a gun for Bruticus. I think it's cool. I kind of like that. A lot of people don't like these little add-ons they do, like the trailer that came with the Constructicons for Devastator. I don't mind it. I think it's a fun little addition. I'm trying to think of what's going to happen when they do a Defensor. Maybe we'll get Groove with a sidecar, similar to animated Prowls, but obviously won't turn into samurai armor. If it's Nexus Prime, I think Nexus Prime would be... Which is weird that we have a leak for Nexus Prime at a Voyager scale, because Nexus Prime is a Prime of combination. You'd think that they'd have to do him at a Commander class or a Leader class scale. But what I think Hasbro is going to do with Nexus Prime is make it so you can buy multiple Nexus Primes and combine them. Which is weird, because if you look at his concept art in Age of the Primes, which granted doesn't mean much because some of the Prime figures look different than their concept art. He looks really big, way bigger than he'd have to be at a Voyager scale. So it's interesting, unless they do like a really simplified version of Energon Optimus Prime, where they have his limbs come off and just turn into little vehicles. But again, at the Voyager price point, I don't know if Hasbro would be able to pull that off. So I think what Hasbro's going to do with Nexus Prime is have you purchase two, and maybe they combine together, maybe like an animated Jetfire and Jetstorm or whatever their names were. Maybe something like that. I really don't know how Nexus is going to turn out. We just got to wait and see. We have some in-hand photos of Voyager class Armada Sideways that do confirm that he's a headmaster. But looking at these photos, it seems a little depressing because it looks like a deluxe figure with two mini cons at the Voyager price point. fair, I guess, for him to do his headmaster thing and have the combining mini cons. Voyager price is fair, but I think I'm going to stick to my Cybertron sideways. And then for deluxes, according to leaks, and I could be wrong with the order we're going to get them, but we have Smokescreen, Power Glide, Swerve, and Animated Ratchet. So Animated Ratchet hopefully doesn't follow like what they did with Wreck-Gar earlier this year, because that looks horrible. I'm sure Animated Ratchet will be a new mold, and if it's not, I'm going to be really disappointed. But this should make a lot of animated fans happy. Swerve will be a retool of Legacy Gears, which I think will look great. The Swerve we had before was more IDW based. This one's definitely going to be more G1 based. So happy to get that. Happy to add another mini-bot to the collection. Another one is Power Glide. This will 100% be a new mold, and it will most likely be repainted into the GoBot version, which I think has the name Bad Boy or something like that, something ridiculous. But a deluxe Power Glide I think would be perfect to help the deluxe mini-bots. We're getting closer and closer to getting all the deluxe mini-bots. I think we're just missing a tailgate now and a couple minor ones, but I think a deluxe Power Glide would be great. And then Prime Smokescreen. I think it's more likely that this is going to be a G1 based smokescreen, even though we just got a G1 smokescreen in Earthrise. We do know that there's a leak for an 86 Prowl coming out. We don't know if this is going to be a redo of the Earthrise mold, maybe just without the clear plastic legs and torso area, or if it's going to be an entirely new mold. I think the Earthrise mold is good. Just getting rid of some of that clear plastic in dangerous areas would improve it. But again, I thought the Earthrise smoke screen was really good, and there isn't that much room for improvement, so we're going to have to wait and see how that turns out. And finally, onto leader classes. I think leader class is where we're going to be getting our Liege Maximo. For Liege Maximo, I'm more hoping for the G1 Comics Liege Maximo with that really cool, really intimidating giant design. They could go IDW based, but that one looks kind of lame. It just kind of looks like Loki. I think a proper G1 Comics, like Marvel Comics, Liege Maximo would be really, really cool, and we'll get that at leader class. We'll have to see if it looks anything like the initial concept art, which showed like Beast Wars Inferno's head. But I think expect Liege Maximo for the leader in this wave. And there's rumors we'll get an Armada Megatron packaging refresh. Kind of weird because I feel like there wasn't a ton of demand for Armada Megatron. And I think around a year ago, the Hasbro designers said that they're not going to be doing packaging refreshes anymore. But according to the leaks, we will be getting some more packaging refreshes. So that's my speculation on the next wave of Age of the Primes. Bruticus is here. I think he looks pretty good. I don't think it looks quite as good as Menasor and Superion, but I think it does look really good. And I'm hoping once we see in-hand photos, all my doubts on these renders is fixed, and it's a lot better than the renders show. Sideways is good. Expensive for the Voyager price point, but headmasters, so what are you going to do? So let me know down below. What do you guys think? Do you think these predictions are right? What do you think of Bruticus? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time, and bye.